The aftermath of Moores Creek said the loyalists who survived the Battle of Moores Creek were unable to mount any other offense. Within 4 months, the British fleet had sailed on without loyalist volunteers and was repulsed at Fort Moultrie on the coast of Charleston, South Carolina. The Patriot victory at Moores Creek tipped the scales in North Carolina on April 12, 1776. The North Carolina Provincial Congress adopted the Halifax Resolve, making North Carolina the first colony to instruct its delegate to the Second Continental Congress to vote for independence. That is really, really cool. That is cool. The first colony to instruct its delegates to the Second Continental Congress to vote for independence. We're back on the rubber path here. There's a couple more monuments we'll check out. So here's the back side of the battlefield, walking along the path. And here is a huge monument. It says, "Here lies the remains of Private John Grady of Duplin County, who fell bravely fighting for his country, the first martyr in the cause of freedom in North Carolina, and the only Whig killed in this battle." That's pretty neat. Surrounded by a nice wrought iron fence. It says commemorating the battle. So you have the Stage Road Monument, which commemorates Negro Head Point. The Loyalist Monument, which is dedicated to the Loyalists who fought and died at the battle at Moores Creek. The one we just saw, for Private Grady. And then the Moores Monument is dedicated to the first president of the Monuments Association. And the next one is literally about, I don't know, 15 yards away as you walk down the path. This is the one that says, "Here fell Captain McLeod, Captain Campbell, about 50 Highland Scots loyalists, who with splendid courage assaulted with their comrades the American entrenchments. They were heroes who did their duty, and they saw it. They were worthy of their tribute from the descendants of the equally brave men who fought their peace to their asses. Erected by the Moores Creek Monument in 1909. Oh, that's cool. So Captain McLeod, Campbell, 50 of his men passed on right here. And it looks like, I think this is the second to last one. This is the Moore Monument. It says, "On this field, the Americans won their first decisive victory over the British Allies, and through the efforts of James Fulton Moore, first president of the Moores Creek Battleground Association, has become a national rallying ground for loyal revolutionary descendants, and in high appreciation of his services for 14 years, this shaft is erected in his memory." So this is for James Fulton Moore. Pretty big. And the path winds way around and up that hill back to the Welcome Center, which you can't see but is through those trees. So we'll head up the hill to the last monument. So this is the last monument before the Welcome Center. And this is really cool. You can see this from the parking lot. It says, "To the honored memory of the heroic women of the Lower Cape Fear during the American Revolution 1775 to 1781. That's pretty tall. And then beyond, next to it, are 2 graves. It says, "In memory of Phyllis Slocum." It's a popular name on the eastern seaboard. Wife of Ezekiel Slocum, I hope I pronounced that right, was departed to this life March 6, 1836. Excuse me, 1836. Age 76 years old, 24 days. There's the headstone. There's the footstone. And then this next one is, I can't even tell what the first name is. Slocum, same last name. Buried of the Revolution, who departed his life on July 11th, 1840, 80 years and 16 days. I apologize, I don't know, I can't read Colonel something. Oh, there's another side to this. Most honored names of the most honored of the names recorded by this historic association is that of Mary Slocum, wife of the Lieutenant Slocum. That must be, I'm sorry, that's who that other headstone is. riding alone at night 65 miles to succor, S-U-C-C-O-R, the wounded on this battlefield. Her heroism and self-sacrifice placed her high on the pages of history and should awaken in successive generations true patriotism and love of country, virtues. Wow, that's cool. This monument was erected. This monument was erected by the Morris Creek Monument Association in 1907. Unserving in devotion, self-sacrificing in loyalty to the cause of their country, their works do follow them, and their children rise and call them blessed. That is very cool. That's a great quote. So following the trail, this is looking back down to the Slocum Monument. Kind of forks in the road here to the Tar Heel Trail. Anybody from North Carolina area knows all about the Tar Heels. Several meanings. Said this 1/3 mile loop meanders through pine woods with a few hints of Revolutionary War scenery. Time of this battle, this was a very different forest. Towering longleaf pines dominated, tapped for resin and pungent for tar, rendering longleaf forest supported Carolina's shipbuilding economy. That's pretty neat. Walk the trail, look for evidence of that era, including some longleaf pines and remnants of historic tar kiln, ghost of an industry in a battlefield landscape. Kind of shows them building ships there. Yeah, the longleaf pine is very important, always has been, to North Carolina for paper products and obviously the logging industry. If anybody's watched the movie, or rather the show Swamp Loggers, that's filmed up the road probably 80 or 90 miles from here. So here it says trees for the Navy. In those parts there was a great plenty of timber for building ships and also to produce pitch, tar, and rosin. At the time of the Patriot battles, leaders were trying to make their fortunes from the area's vast tracts of longleaf pines. Tall trunks became ships en masse. Pine rosin waterproofed, ringed, and sealed boat hulls. Local wilderness became a key player in the 18th century and internal economy. Tensions over the British trade made trade restrictions and price controls on Navy stores fueled conflicts between colonists and Crown. So even back then, everybody's arguing about money. It says barrels of pine tar at the dock of Brunswick, North Carolina in the late 1800s.